I'm going to do this video just so it's easier to remember everything that I'm doing, where things might have to go. This machine I got years ago as like a payment for a side job I was doing. They didn't have the money at the end to pay me, so I ended up getting this machine. I'm going to clean it all up and everything, but I need to figure out if everything's working right, which I'm pretty sure it's not. And that's the inside. I had the hopper out already. I gave everything a vac. I didn't wipe anything down yet. The motor down here, there's 3 wires coming off of it for the coin dispenser. And it's a white, a yellow, and a black. So I have the wires coming out of here from the board up top here, which I have uncovered at the moment. Those, which I'll probably do in more depth when I pull that back out. The white I have going to the white, the brown's going to the black, and there's a yellow one here, but there's no other connector like this. So I'm not sure if it's for the ground, because there is a ground wire here, but it has a snapped off end on it as well. So I'm not 100% sure. I think that might be used as the ground, because it goes to the motor. If not, it's for another dispensing option, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm definitely going to have to take some things apart. I have to get out my tester, and I want to test some things. I started checking some of the bulbs on it, and here's the other side. Now, this was obviously, I'm thinking in somebody's bar or in a bar, it has holes in the top where something was screwed down going across it. Now, that doesn't bother me. Some of the things aren't working, some of the controls. The stick on the front seems a little loose, but I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about that. Now, looking at it over the board, I want to clean these connectors. I'm not sure, but there might be a little bit of rust on some of these. So I want to double check those. But I did notice up here, that looks burnt. So I'm going to get out my tester, see if that's burnt up and if that's going to work, or do I have to try to find a replacement. But you can see the liquid spilled here. So I'm going to have to unfortunately take this whole top board off, and I'm going to do what it looks like so I can see exactly where things are coming out. All these attachments I got to take off. So we're going to start with that. I'm not sure, but that kind of looks burned up too. So I'm going to have to check these out, and once I find some more, I will do some more recording on it. Alright, this is how the board was in there. I got to desolder these. So this is how it was sitting in there, just so that I know. And this one is with the white line facing down, and this one is with the white line on the right. Okay, so here's a closer examination. This is the front side that you can't see. There's those two. There's one, and there's the other. Now, I can touch both of these, and this might be a little hard with one hand, but let's see if we can do it. It will beep. See, so that one isn't blown yet, but it's definitely burned up. This one is burned up. It does not have any connection between those two. So I can't really check all the bulbs because those being burned out, a lot of the back side of this, which I noticed there is one bulb that was not even in. Let's flip it over, which I did not look up there at that. I mean, I'm going to clean all that off. I got to go online though and see if I can find these parts. Now, I am going to be looking for light bulbs, and I'm going to clean it up real good, but that's what I got to find. I got to find that one, and I might as well replace this one because, I mean, look at it. It's all messed up. Now, that might have happened when that one went. I mean, I'm not sure. It could have been when the liquid was spilled on it. That could be part of the problem. I got to clean that off. But I am going to take the bulbs out, and one by one I'll just test them, make sure that they actually have connection between them. So on to the next part. Here's the top board in the machine. Everything looks pretty good in here. It was a complete nightmare getting it apart. This plastic top. Oh my god. These stupid little clips that are on it, they really were a pain in the ass to get out gingerly, because you don't want to jack it into anything in here like capacitors or transistors or anything like that. But I did notice that it is vented on the top of that, and there was some, looks like rust on there. So I'm cleaning that off as we speak, and then I'm going to check a whole bunch of the capacitors on here, make sure that everything kind of seems where it needs to be. Now, I haven't cleaned up the outside yet, but I did do the inside. Wiped everything down, and I had all of it ripped apart. Coin hopper, that was ripped out. I checked all of that. I still don't know what that one yellow wire's for. Cleaned all these up, which these were absolutely filthy. Cleaned all the top metal bracketing up, wiped all the wiring down. I ripped out this whole circuit board unit, and I checked everything out on there. There was a little bit of rust up here in the corner, probably from a liquid coming down through the top through that one hole, but that was fine. That cleaned up real nice. I pulled off that board as well. I checked the fuse way in the back, up top there. You can just barely make it out. It's right up top there. That I checked a whole bunch of the capacitors. All that was good. Clean the rest of those wires all up. Check down here into the power supply. Everything looked good into there. Had some of this apart. This is for, I believe, resetting it. That is if the machine would error out, as far as what I can tell from what I've been testing. If, say it runs out of tokens and you're trying to have it spit them out, it'll basically just say like not an error, but maybe like help. So you have to throw more coins in and then hit that button, and it'll spit out the last of what would be owed to the person playing. Not sure what these are for, these switches, because this is from Japan. So I have no clue, honestly, what any of this says. I mean, there's Japanese written there. There's Japanese written on the label in there. Japanese written up top on that. So there is Japanese written everywhere, to the point where, you know, I'm not really sure, and I can't find any kind of like schematic on this model. So checked out all that. The speaker works. I cleaned up the whole coin mechanism. This was just loaded with gunk in here from all the tokens. Still have to clean out the sensor. There's like a little beam in there that when the coin goes through, it'll make it trigger that you entered in the token. Went through, tested every one of these bulbs out, checked all the connections, tested all those bulbs out. All that was good. Cleaned the glass, checked every one of those bulbs out. Most of them I had to take out. I had to readjust the two little fin connectors on it because they weren't making the proper connection. So that was no biggie. I mean, it was very time consuming. And then up in the top here, which I never even knew was there is an actual light bulb. So I went to Lowe's, I picked one of them up. I've ordered new replacement bulbs that I need for these to fill up that top board. Cleaned all these connections. You can see right here where that capacitor had burned up, and there's where the other one had started to burn up. Now that one was still working, but I ordered two new ones just because there's no point in it. You might as well replace both of them. And I checked all those bulbs out, all of those painstakingly. It was very tedious. I've been working on this for hours. So that's where it's at. Now I'm gonna clean up the outside, and then I'll do a video on how it looks on the outside. After further examination, I realized that this front panel comes off. I heard jingling around. This whole lip, the whole way, both sides, was just filled with these tokens. I had to just fight to get them out. I had to use my little forceps to grab a hold of them bad boys to get them out. And then I see there is, which I thought so, there's another one of the T6 bulbs that I gotta get in there. I think it's a T6. This one's an FL8. The top one was an FL6, I think, or an L6, so this one's a little different. Alright, I'm going to have to go out to the store and I'm going to have to buy another one. Alright. Alright, I got the outside all cleaned up and shined up. And I got the new bulb in there, I got a new bulb in there. The other ones won't light up until I get that upper board back in. So at this point, even though I have the bulbs all in here, they're not connected to the upper board that is actually out at the moment. And same thing with the bulbs that are up in here too. All these are the same deal. They're not lighting up because they don't have the board in the top. Saying that's where all those other bulbs will line up. But so far, I mean, it's getting there. It's looking really nice too. You know, it's something I got as a payment for doing a side job. This is been really fun to work on. Had to use the Hakko, desolder stuff, replace a whole bunch of bulbs, had to use a tester. So yeah, this is turning out pretty good. I'll do another video then as soon as I get the bulbs and the capacitors in the mail. And we'll have to finish this bad boy off. Really, really cool. BB Junkie. I don't think it'll do anything if I put a coin in, but let's just see. Yep, see, it don't do anything yet. So, alright. Cool, cool. Alright, I'm going to desolder these resistors and get them out of place, and then I'm going to see if I can go online and find replacements for them. So let's get the handy Hakko desoldering gun out. Let's see if we can get some of this top layer off and maybe see how bad they really are. Now this does look very concerning how black this board is. Like I'm not a professional at this. Like this is all new to me. Everything is trial and error. And this is definitely different. Wow, there's still a lot on this side. Let's see if maybe it's going to pop through. Nope, that ain't going to pop through yet. So let's put the little EEPROM remover there. Put that against there. I'll put the gun back on top. And boom. That side is free. Okay. Oh, that side was free too. All right. That is out. There's one. Yeah, that board looks bad. Man, I don't know. And let's tackle the next one. Yeah, it does not look good, I have to say. Got the little EEPROM remover back underneath there. See if it'll pop out. Yep, that popped right out. And there it is. That's the little resistor. Now I'm going to have to see if I can find them online. I don't know. Doesn't really say much. It says R1 and R2. So far, everything I've been looking for about this BB Junkie machine, I can't really find much. I found one website, and the website has, well, the game is actually labeled wrong on their site, and they have it labeled as a BB Johnny machine, and it's a BB Junkie machine. So I went on there and I tried getting a hold of somebody, and I haven't gotten a response yet. And I did find a website that said they had like a repair manual for these types of machines, but I don't see any way to download it. The PDF doesn't want to download, and to go on and buy a CD to deliver to your house, that doesn't work either. Like I don't know if maybe it's not available anymore or whatever, but I really can't find much on it. But that looks very concerning to me. That just scrapes right off the top coating. I mean, that's not good. And I don't know much about circuit boards, so if anybody who's watching this sees that, and if they know
if that's going to be a problem. Like I literally just scratched at that with the EEPROM remover, and everything just flaked off. Is this burning going to cause a problem? Because before I took everything out, I had it hooked up, and with it hooked up, these two spots actually would smoke. Nothing burned or was on fire, but you would see smoke sizzling out from this board because I had the board hanging with everything connected to it. And it's when you put this connector on that attaches the power all the way through to those sections. So I don't know if it's something else than the other boards that you saw I had out. I tested what I thought I could on it. I looked at the resistors on that. I looked at the capacitors on it. I mean, I cleaned a bunch of the stuff up, but is there something else that's possibly causing these two resistors to overload? And I'm not 100% sure because, like I said, this is all new to me. I'm not computer savvy in any way like this. This is all just fun trial and error. If you mess up, well, you learn a way not to repair something is the way I've always looked at it. So, I mean, this is definitely a challenge. It's going to take a lot more than I thought and a lot more investigation into what needs to be done. So I'm going to have to go on now, and I'm going to look and see if I can find some more of these resistors and hopefully find out whether or not this board is going to be okay, even though it's so black and looks so burnt up. So once I find out more and I get the parts in, hopefully, I'll have to do another part to this video. I was going to try to do it all in one, but I think this is turned into, it's going to have to be a two-part video setup, and hopefully I get this bad boy working.
Here's the machine with the board in it without those resistors though. So the section that doesn't work, which, I mean, all in all, I mean, it definitely looks really cool. Once the board's in, there's a section that just does not light up, which will be here. There's two bulbs to light up this. There's two bulbs on this side. I haven't figured out how to get the game over to light up yet. There's also bulbs in here. I think there's two in here that are not lighting up because those are not lit up. And is there another one? There might be one behind each of these. I'm not 100% sure. I forget at this moment. Those resistors control those. So those won't work. But, I mean, all in all, everything's lit up. But the metal in is flashing. It takes coins. Now the credit doesn't light up until you get about four coins into it or so. But once you put a coin in, you can go over and hit the buttons. And I missed. And when you put a coin in, and see the one's lit up, I've noticed that that's when the one's in there. There's your first coin, and then see the start flashes. Now when I put a second coin in, now the twos light up. And then your third coin puts it all the way. So that must be all my lines. I'm not huge into slot machines, so really I have no idea anything about them. I really barely play them, even if I would have went to the casino. I just screwed around with them a little bit, so I'm not really up on slot machines. But now I guess all the lines would work. Oh, so close. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. And I've tried out a couple things on it. Like, it seems to work. I'm still messing around with those switches in there to try to figure out what's going on. I'm going to have to find some kind of, like, a PDF schematic on this, just so I can figure out what is what in there. Maybe figure out what that yellow wire is, if something's missing, or, you know, just any way to repair it. Because another thing that I did have happen is the bulbs now that I have in it, they work. They're the right size and everything, except for they're just too big for the access hole. So I actually have to take the back panel off, like the whole board, and then put the bulbs in, and then put the panel back on. Which I mean, it isn't terrible as long as it's the top bulbs. So I do want to find the real replacement bulbs for it. But I mean, all in all, it's pretty freaking nice. I'll tell you what, I'm very happy with it. And these do light up when you hit one of the high wins on it, like the bonuses and stuff. So those still do flash too. So it really does seem to be the only spot not working with those resistors out are those few sets of lights. But yeah, all in all, really cool. All right, I'll do another video when I get those resistors hopefully and show it all working. Thanks for watching, everybody.